the last farm, now we're at a fully automatic tank washing system, which requires no manual, which requires no person to be here while the tank is washing. The system is fully automatic. Still runs off an air motor like at the last system, but doesn't require the person to be here. The full CIP system is can be started by the tank driver when he's here. It still requires with the tank that the driver does a manual rinse of the tank, which is probably the most important part of it. Once the tank is manually rinsed, he can hook up the washer box down here at the tank. We're dealing with a 2,000 gallon tank here, so with Mueller specs we're required to have somewhere around 20 gallons of water with each cycle. The cycles consist of a rinse, a detergent cycle, another rinse, and then an acid cycle following that. And we can also do a sanitized cycle before the producer would like to start milking. The start of it, when the driver comes in, he would take all the milk out of the tank, rinse the tank out with a hose, which would require warm water to rinse it with. Either the producer or the driver would remove these jars here, which we have an acid and detergent jar, and fill up to the appropriate amount of detergent and acid. We do require that you use in a CIP system, which is a clean in place system. That's a non-foaming detergent and acid. You should follow the recommended amounts on the label of your chemical in relation to the amount of water that you're using, which in this case is around 20 gallons of water. After you get the detergent jars and acid jar with chemicals in it, you want to start the washer, which is a matter of turning the switch here to wash, and it will start automatically filling water on its own. The first rinse going in there is all hot water, which will warm the tank up to appropriate temperature. The requirements with any clean in place system is time, temperature, turbulation, and contact time. And the fifth one on that would be temperature again. Temperature is real critical in the tank. We want to make sure we warm the tank up to a minimum of 120 degrees. That's why we run hot water in first to kind of warm that tank up. After it goes through the first rinse, it'll automatically go into a detergent cycle where water will be mixed into this jar down here and detergent will run in automatically, and it'll start spraying for approximately around 6 to 8 minutes. Once that is completed, it'll drain out, then it'll rinse again with another hot water rinse, and then it'll follow right into an acid cycle, which will rinse that acid out, and then it'll stop on its own.
So the water will come in this hose here. Right at this location there's an automatic fill valve that closes when the water from the box starts to go into the tank. The water then fills the tank through this shell here. Now there's a cap that goes on here. This water cannot enter the milk tank until that cap is applied. This is the outlet valve for the tank, which extends beyond the fill shell of the tank. With that cap applied, then the tank is able to be filled. Without that cap, water, detergents, nothing can enter the milk tank. It will run out below the outlet valve. With this control box, we can control the cooling as a digital display that tells us the temperature of the milk in the tank. We have the ability to turn on a sample agitation for the milk hauler's convenience, so you can do a sample agitate before he does his sample. We can do a pre-start agitate so that the milk hauler or the producer can pre-start his agitator before he starts dumping his Sputniks into the tank for a better blend temperature. And then we also have force cool option, which allows him to pre-cool that bulk of milk that's in the tank to help with that blend temperature also. We have a diesel start switch, which gives him the opportunity to start his diesel for the cooling application and the vacuum pump from the milk house here. And we have a built-in 2-hour run timer for that diesel start. All this is what makes the system more automated, more consistent with procedures. Timing is important with the washing, as we talked about in the last farm. This allows us to meter the amount of water going into the system. It allows us to meter the chemicals and the timing for it so that the water temperature going in the tank is proper and the water temperature coming out of the tank is the proper temperature.
As we explained earlier with the fill valve, it's impossible for water to contaminate it's impossible for water to get into the tank while there's milk in it without this cap on it. This cap, once it's in place, provides a closed circuit for the water to get in. Without it on, if somebody would accidentally start the wash cycle, the water would just drain out of this valve here and not have the ability to enter the tank. So it's important that this cap is involved to complete that wash circuit, so water and detergent can enter the tank when it's empty. In between the wash cycles, there's a hydraulic drain valve down here by the air motor, which automatically closes to fill the tank with water and automatically opens during the drain cycle to empty the wash water and rinse water out of the drain automatically. The requirements on hot water for a tank this size, since we're using 20 gallons of water per each cycle, the rinse cycle is hot, the detergent cycle is hot, and then the following cycle, rinse cycle is hot, and then the acid cycle is a cold water rinse. So the requirements on the hot water system would be a minimum of 60 gallons of water. We prefer to see something above 60, so we have a little bit of room there to spare. Since the tank driver is rinsing with warm water, he's going to use a little bit of warm water there. So we'd like to have in excess of 60 gallons of hot water.